All right, listen up here, boys. Ken Rosenthal putting out the Twins bat signal. I couldn't find the exact quote, but it's making the rounds here that he's got a notebook out today in The Athletic, and he said the Twins' mindset is that they're not done adding, and they plan to contend and compete in 2021 or 22, I should say. And I don't know. Coincidentally, the Oakland A's are selling everybody right now, so
Yes.
I don't know. Can they make another move or two to get you excited about the season?
Yeah, they can go get me Frankie Montas. Then I'll think they have a pitching staff that you could probably survive with, and starting rotation. They need a little help in the bullpen, and they need a shortstop. Now, if they go out and sign Trevor Story, even though he likes Coors Field a lot better than he likes any other place, and then go get Frankie Montas, then I'm willing to say that there was a reason behind the madness that we saw last weekend. But at this point, every time I read that the Twins have made a call to somebody, it just causes me to chuckle. So just because these guys lead the world in making a call. I was looking back, 2007. By then, we knew we had a new stadium coming, right? So,
Yeah.
and the attendance had gotten good at the Metrodome. Why was there this obligation to trade Johan and let Torrey Hunter go? Why was there that obligation then?
It's a great question. And then they were willing to.
We all kind of accepted it that they had to trade Johan. Why?
Yeah.
Why did they have to trade Johan?
Well, I think they showed you then when they actually got the stadium. People always forget about this, but they then doubled their payroll from like 2000, to $120 million.
But once you had the stadium in the offing, you look at that decade. Take away the fact they could win a postseason game.
Yeah,
they won 6 division titles. They played in a game 162. And they had the turnaround in 2001. They had 8 winning seasons, several of 5 of them were 90 or more. And what was the obligation to not keep Johan and Hunter? Looking back at it, and I think we let them get away with it because we just assumed they weren't going to spend the money. But why not?
No, I know.
In retrospect, why not? 15 years later.
But
no,
now,
Pat,
Pat,
it's a valid point.
But now, Pat, they're making phone calls. Okay, they're calling on everybody. Babe Ruth, Teddy Williams.
We were talking about this yesterday with Judd, though. The timing of the collapse from 2011 to 2014 couldn't have been worse. They had the new stadium. They thought they were going to draw 2.8 million for the next decade because they thought what happened in the previous decade was reality. And it is astounding where this franchise was in 2010 with the new stadium. 3.4 million was it? 3 point,
for attendance. Yeah.
And they owned the town because the Vikings had just gone in the tank in 2010. And to see where they are today is pretty incredible, and they better do so. Even when they popped up in 2019 and won 101 games, they didn't win any postseason games. So
yeah. Well, I think the bad look, and this isn't just a Twins thing, but it also is glaringly a Twins thing. They're spending, even if they add somebody, they're going to probably spend around the same amount or less money than they did in 2011. So 10 years later, and we're still sitting here. All right, how are they going to spend to get to $100+ million payroll? I think they're tied up for 85 or something right now when you include.
Well, Billy Smith, they got fired for several reasons, including Nishioka. But Billy basically got fired because he wanted to spend money. He wanted to keep the payroll up there even as they were going in the tank, right? And they did not want to do that because they figured that if you were bad, you shouldn't be going out and adding people. And it's they have this horrible cheap poll ad image, which I don't think is valid in so much so in recent years. But when you look back from 2007 to then when they went in the tank, and then their answer is to go get Ricky Nolasco and that Vanimal. I mean, it's easy to see why the public is has been down on them for over a decade, really.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Ricky Nolasco might have been one of the worst athletes ever brought to this town, just as far as he is the definition of a dead ass. Like if you had it in the dictionary, looked it up, there'd be a picture of Nolasco by the term dead ass.
The only day he was happy here was payday, man.
My favorite thing about Nolasco, I think that it was maybe the first year of Mackey and Judd, or it was the last year Pat, you and I were doing a show together. But at some point, one of our shows was going to have Ricky Nolasco on because he was new.
Yeah.
And the PR person, like Dustin or whoever, I said, hey, what are some things that we can get into besides the common, baseball stuff? Like, what are some things that he likes or does off the field?
Yeah.
And the response back was, well, he likes cars.
Well,
okay.
He also liked the south of France and Europe in the off season with Giancarlo, right? Didn't he used to hit Europe in the off season and find out how the south of France was hustling there?
He was also lauded for having like 6 different pitches. At some point, maybe just focus on 2. Let's master a couple first.
And then 2 that are good. Yeah.
Let's narrow the focus.
If they do, I don't buy the idea that they got rid of Donaldson because they wanted to get rid of $50 million. And if they do something with the $50 million that's significant, then we can, I guess, say there was a strategy involved in all of it. But right now they just look like idiots for giving away Mitch Garber so they could give away Josh Donaldson. It doesn't.
Yeah.
I'm not a God, we got to keep Mitch Garber guy, but I agree with Judd though. The first thing we want to see is catchers in a catching stance, not having their crotch exposed to balls in the dirt.
That's my next rule change.
Gary Sanchez. We don't want the leg out here 5 feet, and then have young virulent fathers losing their reproductive organs because you got the catcher in a position where he can't move, so we can steal 1.2 pitches per game.
Yes.
Yeah.
The reproductive organ rule must squat.
Yes. Oh man.
Did you see, by the way, so some of the players are now reacting to the rule changes that are going to come into effect.
Yes.
Some of them aren't going to go into effect till next year, but the pitch clock is going to be a thing in 2023, and Rich Hill, who is one of the oldest starting pitchers in baseball, right? Salty Rich Hill is not happy. I don't know that he's going to be around for the pitch clock in 2023. He might even choose not to be, but he was saying that we are losing the artistry of an 8th inning.
I'm switching channels again.
Yeah. Did I also see that we're going to limit the amount of times you can throw to first base too?
Yeah, I don't think that's doable. They're going to try to do something, but what are you supposed to do? I mean,
I think they're capping it at like 2.
And
you have to throw a pitch.
Thought it was supposed to be 3. That's certainly gonna. Ricky Henderson would have enjoyed that, wouldn't he?
Oh my gosh!
I can leave now while the guy's in the stretch.
Yeah.
What are you supposed to do?
But I kind of like the cat and mouse there too, because let's say they cap it at 2, and the third one is an automatic base. If you do it a third time, it's automatic base. So you can do it once, but then the suspense is on the second one. Are you going to throw over, or are you going home? And if you burn the second one, now he knows you're going home. So there is going to be some added different strategy.
That to me is a phony, stupid rule. But then again, the Rich Hills of the world might just throw over to first base so they can continue to contemplate this very vital pitch. Hurry up! That is the to me the biggest problem is getting pitchers to throw more strikes and hitters to swing it more. You got to somehow convince the pitchers that every pitch is not a drama that has to be played out for 40 seconds. It's you got to the clock, the shot clock, the pitch clock's the only way to go.
And
it also gets your what are we saying about the electronic strike zone? There wasn't much conversation, right, this time.
So they're this year in the minor leagues. I think at AA, they're testing different things at different levels, but it's going to be a challenge system in the minor leagues. So you'll get like 3 ball strike challenges per game to start with, which I think a lot of people. And listen, I am an electronic strike zone advocate. Robot umps now. But I think you almost have to grandfather it in. You can't just full on have an electronic strike zone replacing what we've had for 120 years. So I think a challenge system is the logical first step.
Here's my theory. If when it makes sense is if you go to the pitch clock and everything, then your plate umpire is going to become a policeman more than the most vital umpire on the field, right?
Yeah, true.
Yeah, you got to have, if you're going to get in the box, throw the pitch. He's got to be the traffic cop, right? If you put balls and strikes and monitoring the pitch clock and how are they going to get these jackasses to get into the box? That's what I want to know. That has gotten, when Louis Arise decides to walk over to the dugout and come back.
You can't have that now.
They should have a clock. Put a clock on the batter too. Put a clock on everyone.
Yes, they should.
The pitch clock, I think, is going to be an at-bat clock, right?
Yes.
So that it's not just it's the pitcher, but it's also if you step out and start to adjust your crotch, throw the guy out. Like adjust in the dugout, man.
It's gonna be interesting. But yes, I there's no doubt the Twins are going to do something. It's just whether it's big or small, right? It's just don't tell us. Oh, don't have people leaking out all this great information on the big moves they're going to make, and then have your new shortstop be who's Oakland's projected shortstop. Wasn't
Judd Lowry their shortstop last year?
Yeah, maybe we're gonna. Yep. You're gonna end up getting a C squad shortstop instead of Trevor.
Or Polanco goes back to short. I
saw they raised that possibility. That's a bad idea.
I agree with you completely, but that would not be completely shocking.
Can't do it.
Well, no, you're right, because then they can play Arise on second. But then, Polanco has just had his best year ever. Let's keep him where he's a second baseman.
You know what, Pat? The Twins were close on Story. That's going to be the note. Yeah. The Twins were close.
But I don't think there's a big market for him. I guess Seattle, right? Wasn't that Seattle supposed to be in on it? So.
Yeah, and Seattle, they just landed Jesse Winker and Eugenio Suarez.
I got a question for you. If you're a Cincinnati fan, you got to be going nuts. Why did they give up? They were pretty good. They decided to get rid of everybody. Who's the owner there? Marge Schott died. It can't be her. So,
I don't know. I saw who's the is it Sheldon? Who's the I saw one of the Reds reporters yesterday saying that Reds fans aren't going to want to hear this, but their biggest problem over the last 20 years is they sell too late on some of these players. That's just depressing. Yeah. The A's and the Reds, that you get these great players, and then after 2.5 years, I guess we got to trade them.
But the Reds weren't in that mode. You didn't think. You thought they were in the Central isn't very good.
Right.
Why don't we try to finish second?
Yeah,
ahead of Milwaukee, which can't hit.
Which brings back the question: how the hell do the Rays do it year after year after year?
Don't know.
It's one of the most phenomenal things in sports.
Yeah, it is. And now people, I guess, are trying to duplicate that. But when the Rays go get somebody, they don't go get a guy who's 3 years away, right? They get a guy they bring up and help them win. That's cheaper. That's basic. Yes, they get a younger guy who's cheaper when they trade a guy in his third or fourth year. What's the name of the outfielder they got that took him to the World's?
The guy from the Cardinals.
AROZ, whatever his name is. The guy.
Arozarena.
Arozarena. Yeah, I mean they went and got him, and they took him to the World Series, and now 2 years from now they'll trade him, right? When he's in his fourth year. Mm-hmm. Supposedly, they made a call on Freddie Freeman. The Rays.
I know, but that's got to be. I mean, I think that was before the lockout happened. What do you think that call was? Hey, you want to? Maybe it was like 5 minutes before the lockout. Hey, do you want some security? Here's a 2-year deal, $10 million.
Yeah, we'll give you. I will say that I give the Braves all the credit in the world. Just saying, the hell with you. We're not going to give Freddie 6 years, no matter how much you like him. And we got a better hitter, and we got him for 8 years, and we don't have to pay him as much money. We're paying him $22 million a year instead of the 30 that Freddie wants, and he's better. Yeah. So if we win the World Series again, you won't be mad at us anymore, right? Yeah. So, this whole idea that all Freddie's done for the city. Okay, he won a World Series. Hey, Freddie should be happy, right? And he's not going to the Yankees now because Rizzo signed there for 2 years. So I wonder where he's going to end up. He's looking for a job all of a sudden. He should have taken the Braves' money when it was out there.
Yeah. By the way, I'm just going back in history here because I was curious on our pitch discussion. There's on average compared to 30 years ago, it looks like the average game has about 20 more pitches per game than it did in the mid 1990s. How long does it take? And so that could be an extra, let's say it's an extra 30 seconds. And maybe it's even more than that because if you foul the ball off, it's more than 30 seconds.
I think when it really gets to you is the postseason when they take every pitch is like a 50-second, drama as to what am I going to throw here or not. I think that's when it gets to you. You're watching that, and it's, you change channels in the third inning, and you watch you watch the French Connection again, and you come back and it's about it's
2 hours, 40 minutes.
That's when it really gets to you. But you know what though? How many pitchers, Phil? What is the difference since 07?
Oh,
how many pitchers used?
That's a great question because I think about how many. There's probably an average of at least 1.5 or 2 pitching changes per game more than 20, 30 years ago.
I think I looked it up for the Giants. I was writing something about the Giants. I think they had 900 and some pitchers used, and that wasn't the league leader. That was fourth in the league. 933 pitchers that they used.
Wait, what? Over what period?
Season.
Wait, 900 pitchers?
I think it was 900. Yeah.
What?
I think it was 900.
Appearances?
Oh, pitching changes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
not different people.
How deep is their system?
No, not 900.
Let's bring in Ted from the Santa Clara.
That's when my complaint is 66 pitchers in a 6-game World Series, right?
Yeah.
People say, well, they didn't have 66 pitchers. No, 66 pitchers. That's usage. Okay, some of them got used 6 times.
Okay? Yeah. No, it makes sense.
I don't know. Hey, Judd.
Yeah.
What's with your NHL? I've never seen so many winning streaks. I mean, these teams, routinely now the Boston comes in here, they've won 10 out of 11.
Yeah.
And, Carolina won 12, and Vancouver, when Boudreaux first got there, won 8 or 9. All these winning streaks, really weird. Teams get hot and cold. It's incredible.
Yes. Coaching changes, as the Canucks showed us, could help out. But there have been some impressive streaks. Who was it? The Islanders were terrible for a while, and then they got hot. Mm-hmm. The Oilers have been back and forth. They've been awful at times. Their goaltending is just atrocious. But they're good enough. They get hot.
The Canadians were an embarrassment to the tradition of La Habitants, and then they won 8 out of 9 with a Pee-wee coach.
Yep, it's actually true.
Pee-wees.
He was. Yep.
The Coyotes have won 7 of their last 10, for God's sakes, and they've been awful all year.
It's weird. It is. I keep seeing. I looked at the Bruins and say, today I was reading they're playing the Bruins. I wonder how they're doing. They won 10 out of 11.
Yep.
Yeah.
They outshot the Blackhawks something like 46-11 last night. It went into overtime.
Hey, by the way, the new Blackhawks that were going to show us, they were going to come into the new century with their general manager hire. They interviewed Teresa Resch from the Raptors, the Lakefield, Minnesota gal. I know him. And they ended up taking their assistant. Rocky Rocky didn't win the day. The old man said, "No, we're going to take our guy that we got here that's helped to put us into this mess. Damn it, we're not taking some woman from Toronto, for God's sake."
The apple didn't fall far from the tree in the Wirtz family.
No,
They are miserable people.
yeah, they poor Teresa was, she's like the number 2 with the person with the Raptors up there, and she had it when Toronto media got a hold of this rumor that the Blackhawks were going to interview her. It became a huge story. She never had a chance with that collection of bums. So anyway.
All right. Well, Pat.
I got hockey this weekend, man. We're playing Hated Laverne in the state tournament up in Virginia. So,
Buffalo High School played Laverne in a 11 p.m. Metrodome game one time.
There you
They
go.
beat the crap out of us.
really? in ball?
Baseball, yeah.
Baseball. Yeah, this is the state hockey 12 and under B girls tournament in Virginia, and I'm not going, obviously. They have a banquet on Thursday night. So, you know how we used to pine for snow days as kids? They got hockey days. They just leave.
They just don't go to school?
They don't go to school. They're playing kid hockey.
Wait, are you anti-banquet?
Well, for 12 and under girls,
Yeah.
I think.
If there's not booze,
free
if you
food,
can't drink booze, get rid of the
Well,
banquet.
Pat's not drinking. He hasn't drank in 40 years. What about?
I know.
guess it's okay, but I'm anti skipping school to go play hockey. I think
Pat,
as
they
a
skip school now for anything.
As a taxpayer, we are paying for you to be there every day, right? Not
Pat,
to go play hockey.
They skip school now for anything and everything. It's
Yes.
not like the old days. They give you days off for just a day off.
Yeah, well, that's true.
Go have fun.
Do they, Judd? How closely do you follow what the school trends are? Didn't know that you were following so
When
We
closely.
they
got
started
kids in the neighborhood. He sees that they're not
Yeah.
there, right?
Yeah.
Sees these little truants walking up and down the.
I want these
Truants.
kids. I want these kids in school. School is a reason. The purpose of school, social skills. That's why, and to basically have a place. And these poor parents have to sit at home with their kids now because they don't
Don't
go to
get
school.
me on my homeschool tangent.
Oh, boy.
Have you ever heard a homeschool kid who had an average under B plus? Right.
Yeah.
3.8 is the lowest score ever recorded for a homeschool kid.
Yeah, has a parent ever flunked their kid
Yeah, that's
in
right. I'm holding
advanced
this kid
calculus?
back. This kid is a dummy. I'm holding him back.
Kirloff, right? Didn't Kirloff get homeschooled?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
God.
And I think
That's
Dad's,
disappointing.
Yeah.
Dad's
Hard to
Rather
play that
than-
limestone.
Wait. What, Pat? Dad's a what?
conservative fellow.
Okay.
Yeah, he is. But the guy can hit, so what do we care?
Yeah, we don't give a damn. You're exactly right.
He
guy can hit.
He might be the secret weapon. He might be the secret weapon this year. I think
They're
he can
they're
be
gonna
their
need
best
him
hitter.
to.
I think he'll be their best hitter.
Yeah. They're gonna need that.
All right.
All right,
right.
we're gonna go back to monitoring. We're gonna go back to guard watch. Vikings guard watch.
Hey,
here.
nice signing there. That Hicks guy. I watched him a couple times. He'll tackle you. That's
He's a good player.
That's
Yep.
a good signing.
Now they just need someone to prevent other teams from tackling the quarterback.
Yeah,
So,
that's true.
All right, we'll talk to you later this week,
Here,
Pat.
Reusse.
All right, that's Rapping with Reusse on Mackey and Judd on the Score North YouTube channel.